out of, where the heck are we? Where did we get to? We are Petra and Kat. Come along as we share travel tips and discover new and unforgettable destinations. From hidden gems to popular landmarks, we hope our travel tales will inspire you to embark on your own adventures.
Welcome to the channel.
I'm Petra.
And I'm Kat.
And today we're going to talk about our very first view of the Great Barrier Reef. It's day 41, and we are doing our first Great Barrier Reef excursion. We're leaving out of Port Douglas on the Reefsprinter, and we're going to the Lower Isles.
I think the best part about this particular tour was not only the people who were running it, but honestly, the fact that only 5 people had booked out of 14 to be on the excursion. So we got a lot of personal service.
We really did. We had such a beautiful ride from Port Douglas out to Low Island. And there was so much to see, so many beautiful creatures in the water. And then we got our first glimpse of Low Island.
The island isn't that big, but it certainly is beautiful to see as you're coming up to it.
So our host, Matt, told us a story about the lighthouse. It's manned year-round by a couple that is hired to stay on the island, even though really most of the lighthouse is done automatically. And they've never had a couple last the full 2 years of their contract. In fact, they've only ever lasted 7 months maximum. People ask us what it's like to be together 24/7, and we've done remarkably well. But I can't imagine being together 24/7 in an unair-conditioned home with no internet and most of the day nobody else on the island. That would be challenging.
And with bugs.
And birds. Lots of birds.
Lots of birds, though. Really beautiful birds.
So we approached the island, but we couldn't get all the way to the island because the reef was there. So we transferred to a glass-bottom boat to do the last part of the trip to the island.
What I loved about it is that they station themselves or anchor themselves, what is the correct way to say it, away from the island, and then you transport into this little tiny boat. And you could tell that the tide was low because we were just over the reef. It was exquisite.
And because the tide was so low, it wasn't really conducive to going snorkeling right away. So Matt took us on a little tour of the island.
It's not a very big island, but it was pristine. I couldn't believe how well manicured it was, how clean it was. All the birds. It was just really interesting to look at everything that they had there. One of the first things we came up to was a shed. And it was just your run-of-the-mill type of shed. Actually, it was very good condition. And he just goes into the story about how when Steve Irwin was injured in the water, they brought him there, and he physically died in that shed. And you don't know this, but I'm a huge Steve Irwin fan. Always have been. I love the Irwin family and everything they do for conservation. And I was just dumbfounded. He could tell right away that I got quite emotional about it. He was very sweet. But I still can't believe we were standing in the spot where he actually physically died. I was very honored to honor him in that moment.
After a tour of the rest of the island, we started to prep to go snorkeling on the Great Barrier Reef. We got to wear stinger suits, which was really important because in northeastern Australian waters, there are lots of different kinds of animals that are trying to kill you.
No, it's just this time of the year, the jellyfish come down and there's more jellyfish than usual. And I have to tell you, I fell in love as time went on. I fell in love with these stinger suits. They were super comfortable. They had a hood. You just felt like your ears were safe. Everything was safe. Your hands were covered. I was in love, and I think I need to purchase one.
Let's do it. But the stinger suits were really helpful because at least we didn't have to worry about getting stung. In our excursion in Morea, where we went swimming with humpback whales, I didn't talk about it, but I got stung by a jellyfish. I actually didn't even realize it was happening in the moment because we were in so much euphoria over seeing the whales. But over the next couple of days, I had these tentacle marks around my arms and they became very problematic. So we were grateful for the stinger suits to keep us safe on this excursion. So we're now suited up in our stinger suits, our masks, our fins, our snorkels. It is time to go swim over the Great Barrier Reef.
I want to add something here. I didn't talk about it during snorkeling with the whales, but I really had to learn how to hold my breath pretty long because I am no good with a snorkel mask. I'm not sure what happened in my life, but as I got older, trying to breathe through a snorkel tube has been very difficult for me because I'm kind of claustrophobic and just the mask. And we've tried everything, all sorts of masks. So I just held my breath and looking for the whale and watching the whales. But here we were, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, and seeing the Great Barrier Reef for the first time. And I was like, Kathleen, you need to suck it up. And you need to figure out how to breathe through this tube because you're never going to get to do this again. And I did a little bit better. And the guide was really sweet. I told him what my issues were. And he was always watching out for me. I cannot tell you how much people care for one another here. And this is one big moment where the guide just really cared for me a lot.
I think you did really well. And I think Matt and Georgie were very caring. They did take great care of us. But in addition to that, the water was very calm. And so there was no struggling against the waves. There was no worrying about the tide. You could literally just float and breathe. So Matt and Georgie gave us really good direction on where to swim in order to see the best of the reef without putting the reef in danger. You can't touch the reef. It was considered a green zone, which means you can't touch it or take anything from it. So we had a series of buoys that we would swim between, and then we made our way back to the original boat that we arrived on in the first place. We saw all kinds of great fish and beautiful coral. We had a little rest on the boat before heading back to the island. I got beautiful pictures of a giant fluted clam. Oh my gosh, it had to be, I don't know, 4 feet wide. It was enormous. Back on the beach, we had a little talk.
Hi. So
we're sitting in the water.
Snorkeled the Great Barrier Reef.
It was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And we're on this really cool island where the lighthouse is, and this is the most beautiful place I've ever been to in quite some time. But grateful to be here. Can't believe we got to do it.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Matt had an idea that we might be able to see a turtle if we waded off the island. We didn't have any luck, But because it didn't take very long, he gave us an option. We could choose to swim, snorkel back to the boat again, or we could take a glass bottom boat ride back to the boat.
I chose the glass bottom boat.
And I chose to swim again. And I'm so glad I did. It's funny because we had a conversation. Do you want to keep the camera? You've already got lots of footage. And I said, yes, I want to keep the camera just in case. And boy, was that a smart idea. Was the only one who got to see the turtle. And I was just swimming along, and then there it was, and I caught it on video and I kept it. I probably had it for 2 or 3 minutes, and then I saw a shark. And so I went to put my camera to follow the shark and realized I hadn't been recording at all.
That happens sometimes.
I was devastated, but thankfully I knew where the turtle still was, and I swam to catch up with him. Following him got me kind of far off course. So I ended up swimming a lot more to get back to the boat. But I met Kat there. She had been on the glass bottom boat.
It was gorgeous. The guide had taken me over some really pretty areas, so I got to see a little bit more than everybody else.
It was pretty cool. On the ride back on the Reefsprinter to Port Douglas, we were both in so much euphoria from this experience. I don't think we said a word the entire trip back, and then headed up to the tin shed for lunch.
Everyone had talked about this restaurant, so we were pretty excited to go. We ordered some prawns.
Which is Australian word for shrimp.
And you get the whole shrimp, the whole prawn, so you get the heads and everything. So with the leftovers, we kind of flung them over the side so the fish could have them.
And they enjoyed them.
They had the best time.
After lunch, we walked around the harbor a little bit and headed back to the hotel.
It was an amazing day. We really had a lot of fun.
We heartily recommend this tour anytime for anyone who happens to go. It's a quick ride from Port Douglas to the outer reef. It's like 15 minutes on a very quick boat. They take such good care of you. This tour is also offered with a lunch option. They have all kinds of different options that you can do, but we definitely recommend both the tour guide and the tour itself. So 2 thumbs up for Reefsprinter, 2 thumbs up for Matt and Georgie. Thank you. We hope you enjoyed this look at our day on the Lower Isles. Come back because we've got so many more adventures to share with you.
It's just beginning.
Like,
share,
comment,
subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Ask questions.
And come back and see us soon. Bye.